Well, good morning. I am Lori, and today I am here to talk about something that makes a lot of people uncomfortable. But it's one of the most sacred things I've ever been called to do. I'm a death doula. First question I usually get is, what is a death doula? A death doula is sort of the same as a birth doula, only it's at the end of life instead of at the beginning of life. It sounds really heavy. To me, it's not about death. It's about life, it's about compassion and being present for the dying and for their families. A death doula is someone who walks alongside individuals and their families as they approach the end of life. We're companions and we're guides and we're witnesses. We hold space for the emotional and the spiritual and the practical parts of dying. These so often just get overlooked in a medical setting. Advances in medicine have taken over, and we're so focused on extending people's lives, even if it's not quality of life. We just have that mindset now that we have to keep people alive. I want to help people make peace with their story, with their loved ones, and sometimes even with their regrets, often with their regrets. So I also help families learn how to sit with grief instead of running from it, and how to find meaning in those final moments, which is so precious, and our culture just often avoids it. So I took a 60-day sabbatical. It was more like a 90-day sabbatical, maybe even longer, just to process my own grief. And somewhere in that quiet time, I realized that the pain of loss and the experience of dying, they intersect. Grief, just grief in general, the pain of loss, and dying, the actual process of dying, they intersect in a very human way. Both of them ask us to surrender, to let go, to love fully, even when, and especially when, it hurts. So during that time, I rediscovered my creativity. I rediscovered my love for music and the way art, painting, and crafting can soothe the soul. I wanted to bring those same gifts into the dying process, which is such a sacred space. I want to help people create calm, beauty, and dignity in the midst of a lot of pain. We live in a culture that avoids death. We don't want to talk about it. We don't want to plan for it. And we certainly don't want to sit with it. This is the truth of the matter. When we learn to talk about death, we actually learn how to live more fully. We start to appreciate the small, simple moments, the laughter. I was very intentional about laughter this summer, spending time with family and laughing a lot, appreciating the sunsets. We have beautiful sunsets up here on this mountain, and I missed out on a lot of them. But this past summer and fall, I really learned how to appreciate the beauty of a sunset and the beauty of my view right now, which is incredible. Even just quiet handholds with people that I love, because I've come to understand how precious they are. And as I step deeper into this calling, I've decided to shift the focus of my YouTube channel and my Facebook page, which are called Flawed but Faithful, based on my book that I wrote. Flawed but Faithful has a new meaning for me, and so I've shifted the focus from my book to just being a flawed individual who is faithful to myself and to living the best life possible. So when I do come to the end of my life, I hopefully am not going to have regrets, and I'm going to feel that I've lived a full life of love, spirituality, giving, receiving, and appreciating, just being grateful for this life. Real talk about what it means to accompany others at the end of life, and how these lessons can help us live more fully and more intentionally right now. As I have walked down this path, I haven't been on it long, but I've noticed that the biggest struggle is bitterness and brokenness in families, and a lot of regrets. And as a result of that, a lot of people dying alone and not having a good death. And then those who are left behind have regrets and a lot of pain because of the way their loved one's death was mismanaged. Being a death doula is not about death. It's about presence and creating a space to be present. It's about helping people and their families find peace and find meaning and grace in one of life's most sacred transitions. And it is a transition. We're just helping that individual transition to their next life. You've wondered what it means to truly walk with someone who's dying and to walk them home. That's what being a death doula is all about. I invite you to follow along on this journey as we learn together how to talk about death and honor grief and celebrate life.